if you're thinking about starting your running journey but don't know where to begin, well, coming up are 10 steps to help get you running regardless of your age, gender, or current fitness level. Step 1 is to get a proper running kit. Running is a sport that requires the least amount of equipment and monetary investment, but you still need a proper running kit to get started, so that's where we'll begin. A good pair of running shoes will provide you with better support and cushioning while making your runs a lot more comfortable and, very importantly, more enjoyable. It will also help keep you running injury-free. Running shoes come in all shapes and forms. There are different stack heights, heel-to-toe drops, and different shoes are designed for different purposes within the sport of running. There are carbon-plated race day shoes, tempo or workout shoes, daily trainers, and max cushion running shoes. With so many options out there, figuring out which shoe is ideal for you can certainly be a challenge, but not to worry, I'm about to help you narrow it down. My suggestion is to shop within the subcategory of daily trainers for running. This category of shoes are generally the most versatile and can be used for anything from easy recovery runs to long runs, and will even be responsive enough to pick up the pace when needed to. Some of my favorite models within this subcategory are the Essex Nova Blast series, the Hoka Mark series, and the Topo Athletic Spectre. There are also many other great daily trainers from other brands that you can choose from. Daily trainers are also pretty affordably priced, and a good pair will set you back less than $160 to $170 euros or pounds, well, depending on where you are on the globe. Next up is your clothing, and it's best to wear some technical clothing. It doesn't have to be running specific, and any gym or sports clothes that wick away sweat will be fine. You can of course begin your running journey just by wearing a basic cotton t-shirt and some casual shorts, but these tend to hold on to sweat and stay wet and can cause some chafing. If you're running in hot sunny weather, a running cap or visor works great to keep the sun out of your face and the sweat from dripping down as you run. In cold weather, a sports beanie with a technical neck warmer, some gloves, and a windproof or waterproof jacket will keep you warm. If it gets really cold like where I live, a technical mid-layer between the top and jacket shell with fleece-lined running tights add an additional layer of warmth. Investing in a few pairs of good running socks are essential as they help prevent blisters and keep your feet comfortable during your runs. Running socks come in all different thickness and lengths, and you can choose which works best for you. It would also depend on the weather conditions where you would be running. Just bear in mind that if you choose to go with thicker running socks, well, because of cold weather or for blister prevention, you might need to size up your running shoes by half a size, as thicker socks take up more real estate in your shoes. My personal favorites are socks from Balega and Ingenie. The last thing regarding your kit is to have a place to put your phone. Carrying your phone along with you on your runs is not only for your enjoyment of listening to music or a podcast, but for safety reasons as well. If something goes wrong on your run, such as a muscle cramp or sprained ankle, you can always get in touch with someone for help. Step 2 is to schedule your runs. Now that you have your running kit dialed in, the next thing to do is to schedule your runs. At this stage of your running journey, there is no need to have a formal training plan, as the main goal now is just to get some miles under your feet. That said, scheduling it may be a good idea. Perhaps even pen it into your calendar. Behavioral scientists have proven that creating a specific plan and committing to it significantly increases the likelihood of following through. This is known as implementation intention, a strategy where you decide in advance when, where, and how you complete a task. So instead of saying I'll run 3 times this week, pen it in your calendar and say I'll run on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 7 to 7:30 am on the park trail, or whatever works for you. A good place to start is to run for 15 to 20 minutes about 3 times per week with rest days in between, so you and your legs can recover properly. As you get stronger and fitter, you can increase the duration of each run, or the frequency, or both. The third step is to track your progress. Before lacing up your new shoes and heading out for your first run, consider setting up a way to track your progress. Monitoring your improvement not only provides valuable insights into your fitness journey, but it also serves as a powerful source of motivation as you see your growth over the next few weeks and months. If you already have a fitness watch, that's awesome, but if not, there are many free apps that you can download onto your phone. My go-to is Strava, and the free version is more than adequate for all your needs. It's easy to use and records all your run data from distance and route to average pace, elevation gain, running time, and even step count. Over time, you can track how much faster you're running over the same distance and how much further you're running week after week. Another good metric to track is your weight. Running is an excellent way to burn some excess fat and lose weight, so weighing yourself weekly can show how you're progressing in that department. Step 4 is your pre-run nutrition. This is the last thing to consider before heading out on your first run. You want to start your run adequately fueled and full of energy, and not feeling hungry or overly full with a stomach that's bouncing around with food. Ideally, consume your last meal between 2 to 3 hours before your run so that there is adequate time for complete digestion. However, if you schedule your runs first thing in the morning, that is not probably the most feasible. In that case, having a small snack that is high in carbohydrates just before your run or even a couple of minutes into your run would be your answer. I like running first thing in the morning, and a couple of ripe bananas does the trick for me. Step 5 is to run slow. Now it's time for your first run, but before you go out and crush it, be aware that a common mistake a lot of beginner runners make is that they think they need to run hard and fast to become a better runner. Well, that couldn't be further from the truth. Running slowly should make up almost all of your mileage when you're starting out, and even as you progress, slow, easy runs should make up about 80% of your total mileage. This holds true even for elite runners. Well, the key to improving as a runner is consistency and frequency, and to be able to do that, you need to run slow, because those slow miles that you accumulate strengthen the muscles and connective tissues associated with running. It also helps you build a robust aerobic base and improves your running economy. If all you do are fast runs, you will overload your body and injury will be unavoidable. Plus, you'll build up so much fatigue that running consistently and frequently will not be possible. That said, the time will come to run faster, but for the first 4 to 6 weeks, focus your improvement around running longer or more frequent. So how slow are we talking about? Well, if you ever heard of zone 2, that's what we're talking about. Running at your zone 2 intensity is a pace where you can still hold a conversation while running, although it would be a bit laborious. Basically, you can talk but you can't sing. And if you're talking over the phone, the person on the other end will know that you're exercising because of your slightly labored breathing. If you own a heart rate monitor, measuring your zone 2 intensity will be more accurate, but first you need to calculate your zone 2 heart rate range. There's a link to a video in the description below that will explain in detail the different formulas that you can use to most accurately calculate your zone 2 heart rate range. Step 6 is to improve your running form. After your first couple of runs, you should start paying attention to your running form. Granted that this will change over time as you get fitter and stronger as a runner, but thinking about it early in your running journey will stop you from developing any bad habits that will slow you down due to inefficiencies. There's a link to another video in the description below that will offer you a few simple cues to think about when running to dial in your running form. So I wouldn't go into too much detail about running form in this video. Step 7 is to pick up the pace. By now, you would have been running for a couple of weeks and hopefully you would have learned to run with proper form. You can start picking up your running pace during one run per week. This is what some runners call a workout day, because you're pushing yourself hard enough that it feels like a proper workout. There are a couple of ways that you can structure this run. One option is to run at a constant pace that is faster than your slow running pace but slower than an all-out sprint for about 15 to 20 minutes. It should feel comfortably hard, challenging but sustainable. This is often referred to as tempo run or threshold run, because as you get fitter, this would be the pace that you could theoretically maintain for about an hour. Another option is to do intervals, where you will run at a pace that is slightly slower than an all-out sprint for anywhere between 3 to 5 minutes and then stop and rest for the same period of time. You can then repeat this run-stop intervals for 4 to 5 times. Either way, you should always start with a warm-up that is between 5 to 10 minutes at your slow running pace and finish your workout with a slow jog or brisk walk as a cool down. Step 8 is when it's time to start mixing up the surface. A couple of weeks after building in a workout day into your running week, it is time to start mixing up the surface. Running on flat pavements or on a treadmill will improve your running form and efficiency, but running on different surfaces such as on trails, on grass, or even on snow offers you 2 other benefits. The first and obvious benefit is that it adds variety to your runs so it doesn't become too monotonous. The second benefit is that running on uneven trails, grass, or snowy surfaces will help you strengthen the muscles and connective tissues around your ankles, because they are forced to strike the ground at different angles every stride. The downside, however, is that there is an increased risk in rolling an ankle, but over time, this will make you a stronger and more robust runner. Step 9 is to register for a race. At this stage, you're at least a couple of months into your running journey and it's time to register for your first race. If you're thinking that you're not ready to race or you're not in it for racing, just note that signing up for a race is not about racing other people at all. It's about challenging yourself. It could be a 5K, a 10K, a half, or even a full marathon. The distance is completely up to you, but race day is an opportunity to push yourself to your limits and discover how effective your training has been. It is also a great opportunity for you to set a PR or personal record over your chosen distance. It has been scientifically proven that we tend to push ourselves harder and perform better when there are other people looking and cheering us on. So get online and start searching for a local race that you can sign up for. Step 10 is to set a goal. Now that you've registered for a race, set a goal for your first race. It should be a bit of a stretch and push you to your limits, but it should also be something within reach if you've been running consistently and frequently all the way up to race day. You will not always achieve your race time goal, but you should have one regardless, as it gives you something to aim for. As an example, when I ran my first marathon, my goal was to run it in under 4 hours, but I fell behind by 13 minutes. However, when I ran a later marathon in 3 hours and 20 minutes, my goal for the marathon was to run under 3:30 and I smashed it. So set yourself a goal to aim for, and if you don't smash it, well, continue running and try again at another race. But if you smash your goal, awesome. Celebrate your success and all the work that you've put into your running. When you're done with that, sign up for another race and set a higher goal. Like I said earlier, racing is not about racing others, but more about racing yourself and trying to achieve new PRs, purely for the priceless sense of satisfaction. From my early 30s until my mid 40s, almost all the exercise I did revolved around weight training in the gym. But after over a decade of doing that, it felt pretty directionless and aimless. It came to feel like an endless loop of going back to the same gym day after day, week after week, and month after month of doing similar workouts. Yes, it was great for maintaining muscle mass, which is really important for prolonging longevity, but it lacked the diversity of running and the satisfaction of achieving new PRs at different races. Running gives you the option of running different routes on different terrains. You can sign up for races of a multitude of distances, from a 5K all the way up to 100 miles or even more, from your local race to major city marathons and epic ultramarathons. Let me know in the comments below what race distance you sign up for and what's your race time goal. Slow or fast, it doesn't matter, because the only person that you're racing is yourself, just that you're doing it in the presence of other runners doing exactly the same thing as you. So again, smash the like and subscribe buttons below and let's get running together.